What the fuck is this? Elden Ring broke me.
He said it! He said it!
Limgrave was all things considered pretty easy, and despite some challenging bosses, when playing through Liurnia, it became more and more apparent that Limgrave was just a tutorial. In Limgrave, I was stomping bosses like it was nothing. I was on top of the world. But in Liurnia, I was a bum. While fighting a camp of basic foot soldiers, I instantly realized a step up in difficulty from Limgrave. I could kill the Limgrave like foot soldiers in 2 hits, and these guys could take at least double that before dying. They still suck though, they're low-key just fodder. I made my way into Stillwater Cave, and I experienced poison for the first time. And while it doesn't hit for much damage, it's an annoying thing to deal with, requiring you to heal passively while traveling. In this cave, it wasn't too bad, but there would be a fight later that would make it have a much bigger impact. The boss here was a clean run knight, which had some very cool attacks, but I'm not gonna lie, this guy got handled. I think the only damage I took was from poison, which pretty much makes this a hitless boss attempt. At the time, I didn't know this, but the cliff bottom catacombs would change the way I go through these dungeons. The enemies in this place were much more abundant. Many imps ready to jump me from around every corner, some even having magic. Like, come on now, Miyazaki, have we lost the goddamn plot? On top of all that, omens congregated here like Discord mods to miners. Like seriously, there's at least 5 omens in this place, and fighting them uses 3 of my flasks. Yes, it's a skill issue. After pulling the lever, I made my way to the boss room with no flasks and no HP. Can you guess what happened? Spoiler alert, I got fucking clapped. The boss was another Erdtree watchdog, except this one had some new magic attacks. The most difficult of which to dodge was this AoE slam. We did manage to beat him a couple attempts though. Oh my god. And man, what the hell is up with this guy? This normal, non-boss enemy, by the way, is giving me the works. I mean, I could barely get a hit in. It genuinely took me a couple attempts to go through this guy. I gotta admit though, he had some pretty sick attacks. I entered another dungeon, but it was a bit different. I quickly found a secret area with the Black Knife Assassin, and this boss was pretty badass. It's a very fun fight, a very agile enemy with some cool ranged moves. What I didn't expect though, was a second boss fight in the same dungeon. I entered the fog and found a cemetery shade, and I thought, nice, this is gonna be an easy fight. And then there were skeletons. And if you watched my first video, you know how bad I am at gang fights. So this one is about as expected. After a few attempts though, I found the strategy was to go straight for the main boss and completely ignore the skeletons. This guy was a glass cannon, I mean weak as fuck, and died in a few hits. I came upon this minor Erdtree and it was surrounded by about 8 pretty beefy enemies. Like the absolute giant bald genius Giga Chad I am, I took them all on at once. And died. Well, we don't gotta dwell on that. A second try, I went about this much more strategically and made good use of the Medigord. I hope I pronounced that right. This beast of a dagger does 140% extra crit damage and allowed me to one-shot all of these guys when sneaking up on them. After taking them all out, I fought the Erdtree avatar and took it down pretty easily. I mean, I've already fought quite a few of these, so makes sense. Oh shit, this is the boss. After fighting and defeating this bloodhound knight, I proceeded to a cliffside on the back of the cave. There I found a lady that was seemingly pissed off at me for no reason. Frickin' Foids, am I right? I went to the village of the Albinorics, which was a town recently slaughtered by a Tarnished, I think. That's why this guy was so scared when I was talking to him. Deeper in the village, I found an Omen Killer, which is the first boss I've fought of its kind. It was pretty fun, but I dealt with him fairly easily. Unlike these 2 pieces of garbage. Normal enemies, by the way. I mean, just look at this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. After many tries, I killed one. Dude. No loot. I killed the second. No loot. Are you telling me I just spent 20 minutes fighting these fuckers and I got nothing, bro? Anyways, remember when I said that this chick hated me for no reason? It was actually valid. It's because she thought I was with a Tarnished that killed the village. So yeah. The Thief of Fire. This is the next boss I would face, and I didn't expect it to be hard. Just look how much damage I'm doing. My first attempt, I got him to half health pretty quickly, and I thought it would be an easy NPC fight from then on, and boy was I wrong. I got greedy, and he actually attacked much faster than I thought. Not to mention, he heals up to full health mid-fight. He also has this fucking anime-ass attack where he literally nukes you with the sun. If you got hit, you were fucking dead, so you had to run. But this sun would last for so goddamn long that he would just chase you around while you're shitting your pants. And I died quite a few times to this guy, but eventually I had to beat him.
Fuck you, bro.
I then had one of my best fights for the playthrough so far, taking only one hit from this Erdtree avatar. I absolutely annihilated this thing. I stagger locked it and pulled out my dagger to deal the extra crit damage every chance I could. Now I have fought many variations of this boss already, but I feel like this is also a good show of progress.
I locked in.
Now the Road's End catacombs were particularly strange if I do say so myself. The lever was almost right in front of the entrance, and the actual boss room was hidden behind multiple illusory walls. I think the room was supposed to be challenging to find, but with a brain like mine, it was no problemo. The boss was another variation of the Crucible Knight, and it absolutely bodied me. Except, on the second attempt, I saw the snail create the illusion of it and turn invisible, and I freaking two-shot this thing. I thought the boss was the Crucible Knight. No, it's actually just some fucking snail. I can't believe I didn't see that the first time. Down the way, I was invaded by that dude from Castle Morn. After quickly dispatching of him, I got his halberd, and it looked pretty sick, so I actually wanted to try it out. I also took off that ugly disco helmet, and voila, my brand new drip. And what better way to test out this weapon than against a boss? After giving Hayata another grape, I fought against a Carrion Knight, who was pretty much just a troll with some magic abilities. I thought the halberd, being a heavy weapon, would stagger very easily, but the fight made me realize how broken the Uchikatana's special ability is. I staggered this troll like once throughout the fight, and with the Uchikatana, I stagger enemies less than every 4 hits usually. So after a few more bosses, I would switch back. I got another map piece and gave Hayata another grape. Except this time, it was revealed the grapes were actually fermented fucking eyeballs or some nasty ass shit. And this lady still ate them. What the hell, man? Coming across another Knights Cavalry mini-boss, I thought this would be a cakewalk, but then a bear decided to jump scare the crap out of me mid-fight. I got rid of the bear, but still got pieced up. On my second attempt, I knew what to expect and stayed out of range of the bear's aggro. I quickly got him off his horse and started wailing on him. I think I only got hit twice during this fight. Probably my best fight so far against a horseback enemy. I made my way into a mine, and this place was like smithing stone heaven. I mean, just look at this. It almost brings a tear to my tip. A white tear, that is. Now, at the end of the dungeon, the boss was a Crystallian, and it could have been somewhat challenging, but I've gotten my ass kicked by these guys way too much, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I instantly ran into crit 1 with my Mericorde, and after bullying this thing for a bit, it was able to take big boy damage, and basically that was that. It did give me Smithing Stone Bell Bearing, which was huge because it would allow me to purchase infinite Smithing Stones 1s and 2s from here on. I walked into the Academy Kitchlik cave and was not expecting to fight a normal enemy this difficult. I swear to God, bro, the normal enemies in Liurnia, they're built different. I was running for my life here trying to avoid this magic hammer that got pulled out of his ass, and I did beat him. And after that, I made my way to the boss. Remember when I got my ass kicked by 2 of these guys? Well, now I had to fight 2 of these guys again. I locked in and took down the first one at light speed. I was lucky it wasn't 2 melee Crystallians, or this would have gone just like it did earlier. The second one used magic to attack, so I could just hide behind a pillar when it attacked to avoid all damage. After taking a few shotgun shots to the dome, I took this thing down. After the fight, an elevator opened up and took me to probably the most beautiful view I've seen so far. Like a last meal before the execution that was the next boss. Did you guess it? Yup. It's a fucking dragon. If you've watched the first video, you know I hate these things, but maybe, just maybe, I improved from my experience in the first video. Maybe I can take this thing down easier. Nope. No, the fuck I will not. Just like the first time I fought one, this dragon was a grueling series of attempts. At least its fire was blue, so it looked a little bit cooler when I died, you know? After finally killing this thing though, I did get the Academy Key, which let me progress into the main dungeon of Liurnia, the Rhea Lucaria Academy. And oh my god, fighting that dragon for the key was worth it. Just look at it. This place is amazing. Is what I thought at first, until I got jumped by a bunch of rabid dogs. But I mean, hey, at least I got an Ash of War I'll probably never use. Nah, but in all seriousness, this place was very cool. I even got a new armor set, which was absolute drip. Just look at the aura it gives me. This guy had some very cool gravity attacks that'll pull you in, and some crazy combos as well. Not to mention his stab attack. At some point in the fight though, I realized I could just stun lock him and vaporize the crap out of him after that. After reaching the site of grace, I walked into a nearby room and realized how annoying magic enemies can be. I feel like a goddamn janitor trying to dodge 47 cruise missiles here, and then a giant fucking pot comes to life just to make matters worse. I did feel like a badass dodging all those projectiles on some Matrix shit though. A little deeper into the academy was a boss called the Red Wolf of Radagon, and now this thing was fast and hit like a truck, with flashy ranged and melee attacks. Fortunately, it took a good bit of damage. I was about to first try him, but I got greedy as per usual and died. The next attempt had some close calls, but I did manage to claim victory in a pretty badass way, may I add. I made my way to the castle courtyard and found my way to the rooftops. The roof gave a whole new dimension to the area. It felt extremely cool to jump building to building and fighting enemies as I went. This is my favorite part of exploring the academy. Except for when I died, right at the end of the whole goddamn path. After finally trekking back, there was one enemy standing between me and the loot. It was a pretty easy fodder enemy, so I didn't have to worry much. Since when are there goddamn automatic weapons in Elden Ring, bro? Like, what the fuck? Alright, this time I actually killed him and the guy trying to give me back shots, and I got the Azura's glintstone staff. And then there was the ball. Now, some may say I got super lucky, but I'm gonna say the reason I didn't get hit by the ball was because my massive fucking brain's goated pattern recognition skills. Alright, fine. The first time it was a little bit of luck, but I realized if you stick to the right, the ball will, like, never hit you. Right after, I fought against the Carrion Royal Knight, who was kinda kicking my ass around a bit, but the worst part is, this guy was trying to copy my drip. I could not take this insult, so you know I had to obliterate him on the first attempt. Okay, maybe it was like a little bit close, but as a great man once said, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning, and family's pretty chill too. Y'all know what's next. I entered the giant door and quickly realized what was coming up. The big kahuna of this region. What I didn't expect though was this half-baked goblin chick to lick my toes. Let's just call it a pleasant surprise. The boss we're about to duke it out with is Renala, a single mother in my area, if you know you know. But on a real note, this first phase was easy peasy. All you had to do was locate one of the fodder enemies with the glowing aura around them and proceed to slam them out. And after putting 3 of these things down, Rebel's bubble breaks and she falls to the ground, allowing you to be able to hit her. And come on now, just look at how much damage we do on just one cycle. After repeating this one more time, we were able to beat her nice and easy. Nope, there's a second phase. The second goddamn phase. Now, the arena was pretty cool, her attacks was pretty cool, but getting penetrated by a freaking Kamehameha? That was not pretty cool. In fact, it was pretty bad. Renala kicked my ass so many times I had to switch up the Ash of War, my weapon, to do the max amount of damage possible. First, I chose to keep unsheathed and added the cold affinity. I got close, but I was expecting more damage. I needed more damage. And that's when I landed on Sacred Blade. What this does is split my damage between physical and holy, and also gives a temporary damage buff when used. Put simply, I could do way more damage than before. Like now I can one-shot her little goblins while the buff was active. And let me tell you, this is a very noticeable buff. I got extremely close to beating her second phase, like so close, but I fumbled the bag, but I needed to keep going. I teleported back to the round table hole to upgrade the weapon further, and was met with a little mini boss, and this dude got slammed. Anyway, it's time to do what I really came here for, upgrading my weapon. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, just look at the damage increase I get. On top of that, I was equipped a holy damage buff just to sweeten the pot, and with my new drip, I was ready to take Renala down this attempt. God. I was one hit away from winning. Got hit for all my health in one attack, and only because the game auto-targeted the giant's leg. I really wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. But real players, they don't pull out. So I tried again. And this time, I actually won.
Oh my fucking god, dude, finally.
And beating this boss unlocked something awesome. Respecking. Now if I see a cool weapon I want to try, I can just reset my stats. While exploring, I came across the 4 belfries, which are basically 3 portals that each take keys and transport you to different locations. The first one I took transported me to Fair Missoula, and goddamn was this place cool. I jumped down some floating rocks and got packed up pretty quickly by what I assume are late game enemies. Don't worry though, on my second try I paid them back, this time going for the ranged attacker first and then cooking at the melee one. Despite this fight taking pretty long for just a normal enemy, I thought it was a pretty fun challenge. I then took the second portal and got transported to the underground area where I had to fight a Crucible Knight. If you watched my first video, you know these guys are pretty tough and this fight was no different. This guy even had a new fire breathing attack which was pretty sick. Thankfully, I still had some muscle memory from the last time I fought one of these guys, so I was able to take him down in the first try. Don't come at me for using spells, by the way, I still take this as a win. What was not a win though was the next boss I had the misfortune of finding. If you play this game, you probably also hate the Royal Revenant, and you can guess how this goes by the first attempt. I mean, just look at how fast this thing killed me, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably the most difficult boss I've fought in this video. While Renala took longer, it was mainly because of the runbacks and because I could actually stay alive longer than 5 seconds on every attempt. I mean, this thing was taking me down as soon as I entered the boss room. On top of all the bullshit teleporting this thing did, it also had poison attacks. Like, come on bro, what are we doing, man? But little by little, I was able to hold out for longer against this guy. I was starting to get 10-second attempts, 15-second attempts, and a few tries in, I was able to get it down to half health. I thought about giving up and coming back later, but I knew if I was going to do this shit, it had to be right now. Or the next attempt. Or the next attempt, but you know what I mean. Just remember this, no matter how hard we get hit, we must keep going. And that, my friend, is why I kept hitting my head against this wall until this.
Fuck you, bro. Oh my god.
I finally beat it. Probably the second hardest boss of this entire playthrough right after Margit. And let me tell you, did it feel good. Now while traveling towards the Carrion Manor, I was getting assaulted by some space lasers, like some Netanyahu type shit. And the main enemy was lurking around this place with these giant hands that, yes, diddled the crap out of me. I approached what looked to be a boss fight with 0 flasks left, so you know I'm about to get fried, but we're still gonna give it a shot. The boss is Loretta, and this is honestly very fun. I knew I was going to get packed up on the first attempt, but I didn't manage to get her to half health, which I was pretty proud of for no flasks. The second attempt, I was locked and loaded with full flasks, and I would say it went pretty well. In the first half, I didn't take many hits, but once I started to get greedy, I was getting hit left and right. This continued basically till the end, and we were going blow for blow, but we took care of her. After the Royal Revenant, Loretta felt like a piece of cake, nice. But then again, most bosses would. Like, what the fuck was that thing? Y'all know how much I hate dragons by now, and this one was no different. Here I am thinking after fighting a few, I'll finally be able to take one on clean, but then halfway through, like I've been saying, the dragon revealed itself to be a giant pussy and flew away. Not fucking going against the dragon stereotypes here. These things can never let me have my glory, man, I swear. And then I met Mommy Ronnie again, and she tasked me to go find the Finger Slayer blade. Soon after, I came across what looked to be a hidden BDSM sex dungeon that belonged to the biggest asshole I've met so far. Yeah, it's Celovus. Also, why don't you guys tell me you could roleplay as a furry in this game? I would have played it so much sooner. All jokes aside, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for K-Lid.